It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. On this video, we're going to be taking a look at some pretty interesting and awesome behind the scenes photos and footage from filming that took place for The Last of Us in downtown Calgary. Now, for those of you that don't know, I live in Calgary, so I was able to visit set a few times and also visit some of the set locations that they were filming at one point. You can go check out all of those in the channel if you're interested. In this video, most of the stuff I'm going to be looking at as far as the footage goes is things that were captured by other fans, but I will leave a link to all of my external sources down in the comment section below so you can go and check it out. But there's definitely a lot of very interesting things that have come out recently that are pointing towards a major gameplay scene being filmed. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking that down for you guys, and also other than that, I'm going to be showing you guys some other photos that I captured for other things that they were filming. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break these down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right in. First, I'm going to show you guys one of the set locations that was at the center of most of the filming that took place last week. Some of the stuff we're going to talk about as far as the gameplay scene also took place in this area. So we actually had a main road that was blocked off and an alleyway that was blocked off. Storefronts were decorated as well. So we can see right here, these are the cars that were decorated. They have the same kind of rusty feel to them to make it more apocalyptic. And obviously you can see all of the storefronts on the right that have been decorated. We talked a lot about that in the past, so I'm not going to dive deeper into that. We also have this particular road that was blocked off. At this point, it looks quite different than what it originally looked like. And this is not even the latest footage of this. I have some more recent pictures of this road and what it currently looks like. But obviously, we can see that there is a bus all the way in the back, and there are other wrecked cars in the background. And we can see there's a lot of bricks on the ground, which is definitely very cool because it's sort of like an Easter egg for the video game. And we do have a blue and white truck in the background as well. Now that particular truck was the focus of one of the scenes that they were filming a few days ago. I did a separate video on that, so go check it out if you're interested. We will see this truck a little bit later on as well, and I'm going to explain what scene they were shooting with that particular truck. But before we get there, I do want to show you some of the aerial shots of the same alleyway and the same road that we were just looking at. So we can see right here, this is the same alleyway that was blocked off. There's also another alleyway in front of it where we can see an RV that was also in the middle of the road at one point when they were filming. And obviously we can see a closer shot of the cast in one of the alleyways, Bella Ramsey as Ellie and Pedro Pascal as Joel. So they were recently in one of those alleyways filming a particular scene. Now, when I recently went there, I did see they were transporting a few of the wrecked cars away. So obviously they were moving it to a different area, possibly a parking lot or something, or potentially to the next filming location. But this is what that road looks like now. The same road that had the bus in the middle of it. So we can see it's more or less a parking lot at this point, and all of the military vehicles and other wrecked cars have been parked in that area. So that's pretty cool. I mean, not much to say here other than it looks like it's just a parking lot at this point. Now, with that said, let's dive into that particular gameplay scene that I was talking about. But before I do that, I do want to refresh your memories on one thing, especially for those of you who have not watched my previous videos. In the video game, there is a part of the game where Joel and Ellie are in a blue and white truck and they're driving through the city of Pittsburgh, where they're ambushed by a gang and they crash their car into a store and they're basically attacked by this gang. Now, it seems like that's exactly the same scene that they are shooting in one of those alleyways that we were looking at. So we can see right here, the blue and white truck has crashed into this particular store, which is actually a laundromat. And we can see there is someone with a weapon kind of making his way through to the store. So that's pretty awesome. We can see that here as well. Now there is a footage of this, which I will show you, and I will kind of show you a little bit of the gameplay clip so you can see exactly how these two are going to match up. But one thing I do want to mention quickly is that the only big difference for this part of the game is that instead of Pittsburgh, we will see the city at the center of this story changed to Kansas City. There's been a lot of clues and a lot of signs for that, which I'm not going to dive into here. I did talk about that several times in my other videos, so if you're interested, go check that out. But the big difference is that the location or the city that this story is going to take place in has been changed from Pittsburgh to Kansas City. Other than that, everything else seems to be identical as far as the story in the video game. First, I want to show you this right here, which I did show you in one of the previous videos as well, but we can see the blue and white truck driving towards the end of the alleyway. There is another vehicle in front with a camera on it, and then we can see one of the actors jumping in the middle of the road right there, waving their hand. So that's obviously a big part from the video game, which I will show you in just a little bit. But we can see that they are filming a scene where someone jumps in front of the car and waves their hand, and that's it. And then there's another scene that they were filming where an actor with a weapon in hand is looking around, and then they see something which prompts them to start shooting, and then it appears at one point they are going to be shot in the particular scene that they are filming. We can see that in just a little bit here. There we go. So he was shot or something, and obviously he continues to play the rest of the scene. So I'm assuming that it wasn't a fatal shot. And then we have this scene right here as well, which is where the photos that I showed were coming from. So we can see someone else with a gun in hand. They are moving their way into that store, the laundromat, and we do see the white and blue truck that has crashed into the store. So now if we take a look at the exact same sort of scene in the video game, we can see that there was a scene where Joel and Ellie are inside the truck, the same white and blue truck that we saw. They're driving towards the city. In this case, it's Pittsburgh, but obviously in the TV adaptation, it's going to be Kansas City. So they're just driving, and then that's when they run into this gang. So we see this guy right here. He is pretending like he's injured. He's waving his hand. And then Joel notices that something's not right and that it's not someone injured, and it's just someone trying to bait them into getting out so that they can steal from them. Obviously, if you look back at the scene that I just showed, they were filming. A guy jumps in front, waves their hand. So this is exactly that particular scene that we were looking at. So that's pretty awesome. So that's when they're actually ambushed and attacked. They shoot at the car, and that's when the truck drives and crashes into a store, which we see right here. So this also connects to that specific shot where we saw the truck inside of the store, and it appeared that it had crashed into the store. And that's where we have other people, other members of the gang coming in to finish the job, attacking Joel and Ellie. And then we can see that after Joel and Ellie take care of these few people, there's more of them coming through. This connects to the other two quick clips that I showed where there were people with weapons in hand moving their way into the store that we were looking at. So there's a lot of things that are definitely matching up, and everything is pointing towards them filming that particular part of the game, which is super, super awesome. And if we think about it, that's one of the key parts in the game, not a critical moment in the game, but one of the big gameplay moments in part 1 of the video game. So with that said, I do want to talk a little bit about something brief that they were doing in one of the streets in downtown Calgary. So we can see right here, there was a lot of wrecked vehicles and kind of vehicles with rust on them and everything. And there were a lot of leaves on the ground. And all of this was set up in front of a underground bridge. And obviously we can see more of those wrecked cars that I was talking about, and some shots of the tunnel that appear to be the center of attention. Now, they weren't here long. They spent maybe less than a day here, so I don't exactly know what they were doing, but there's obviously someone with a camera here. They're either taking a picture or they're filming something very brief. So that's extremely interesting. I mean, there's been moments in the game where there is a bridge at the center of attention or at the center of the story, but I don't think this is for that. The bridge doesn't look quite polished enough or decorated enough to be used for a scene like that. So I don't know what they were doing, but it's extremely interesting. I mean, there was definitely something going on, but I couldn't tell what exactly they were filming. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.